Konsumo ng gas o diesel.
Energy ability ang ginagawa. Plus,
Sasakyang energy efficient equals
energy efficient transportation.
Project finish!
Ang purpose ng dessert, i-reward ang masipag with layers of sarap.
Nestle all-purpose cream mo. Para rich, thick, and creamy.
Reward ready!
Finish!
Nestle all-purpose cream.
In everything you do, make sure you choose what's true.
We always follow our hearts, so true adventures come our paths.
Dreams and aspirations, giving spark to all our passions.
Stay true and you know what to do.
And choose the bonds that are true.
We choose what's true. We choose GSM Blue. Choose what's true. 'Cause you're the one GSM Blue. Choose what's true.
Choose what's true.
Dahil ito ang GSM Blue.
Welcome back to the program. In a few moments, CNN Philippines will be holding our vice presidential debate with 7 of the 9 candidates in this year's polls. Let's get the latest situation from the University of Santo Tomas, where the debate will take place. Our David Santos and Trisha Terada now join us live from inside the Quadricentennial Pavilion. And let's start with you, David. This people in attendance, it has got to be different from the ones we've had in the past. What is it like on the ground right now?
Well, Ria, it's going to be very different. We were here in the exact same spot in 2016. This part of the bleacher was filled with people at that time, around this hour, mostly candidates' supporters. Now, the bleachers are now virtually empty. It will be interesting how this will play out. I mean, having a big live audience back in 2016 had its pros and cons. On the upside, it can test the candidate's character on stage, especially when he or she was being booed or heckled. Now, you get to see how they react or how they manage to retain grace and composure amid intense pressure. On the downside, noise and interruptions from a huge crowd can also be distracting and disruptive, and it can affect the candidate's train of thought or his or her arguments. Now, we saw that happen to then Vice Presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos during the 2016 VP debates. He was interrupted several times by heckling, to which some pundits said somehow affected his performance that time. Now, well, we don't see this happening this time. There will be a limited number of people watching the debates live, mostly members of the candidates and entourage, as well as observers from the Commission on Elections. But not only there is a significantly smaller crowd in the audience, cheering and heckling will also be discouraged. I guess the only time there will be cheering is when the candidates will be introduced on stage and when the debate ends. Otherwise, the live audience here will have to remain silent throughout this 2-hour showdown. Now, Microsoft Philippines is introducing a technological innovation for these back-to-back debates, the virtual audience. For that, it is tapping the Microsoft Teams technology, a platform, it says, with about 270 million users globally every month. Now, for this afternoon, 300 team users from different parts of the country, as well as cross-section of the society like women and youth groups, the LGBT, PWD, the academe, will be joining the debate remotely from the comforts of their homes or wherever they are now. Now, all these precautions, of course, are in compliance with the government's safety protocols amid this pandemic, Ria.
All right, well, this race has been remarkably stable so far, with Sara Duterte seeming to be the constant frontrunner in the surveys. But a debate always has the opportunity to upend things, especially since the frontrunner is going to skip this debate, and it seems even the future debates. So, Trisha, let's go to you. Where is Mayor Sara, and what do we know about why she refuses to attend the debates?
Well, Ria, what we know so far is that Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio is in Pagadian City doing her rounds of her campaign. And what we also know is that Mayor Lito Atienza won't make it today because of medical reasons. Well, as far as Duterte Carpio is concerned, we've been asking her camp for a reason why they couldn't make it. But until now, as of today, we do not have that explanation from Duterte Carpio's camp. Ria?
Right, of course, as I said earlier, we are still in the middle of the pandemic, so there are certain health protocols in place for the debate. For example, there will be no handshakes between the candidates or the hosts. David, what else should we know about the safety and security measures? And also maybe you can tell us a little bit about the format and what to expect from this afternoon's debate and what it will look like.
Well, if you can see behind me, the limited seats on the floor are strategically placed so people will be spaced out inside this auditorium. Prior to coming on stage, the candidates and their entourage were ushered to separate rooms at the Father Roque Ruyano building just across this debate hall. That sort of served as their bubble prior to this debates, although I understand Doc Willie Ong and his wife visited the room of Senator Kiko Pangilinan shortly after their arrival here at UST. Now, everybody needs to present a negative COVID test result as well as their vaccination cards. Mask wearing is compulsory. Trisha and I are standing several meters away from the debate floor so we can take off our masks for the meantime, but we will have to put it on back again later when the debate starts. Now, the only exceptions for masks wearing are the 9 people who will be on the stage. There are CNN anchors Rico Izon and Ruth Cabal, who will serve as this afternoon's moderators. And then the 7 presidential candidates appearing this afternoon. Spots will be kept for Sara Duterte and Lito Atienza, who are both will be given a 30 and their opening and